Welcome back to the channel, boys. Fabulous coming at your neck with my 100 discipline support build. Now this build is actually crazy. The amount of healing you can do, the amount of overshields you can provide, and the amount of rifts you can drop. It's just actually insane. Like I didn't believe my eyes when I saw it. So let me go ahead and break it down for you. So for my subclass of choice, which is honestly no surprise to anybody, we're running Middle Tree Dawnblade, which is the Well of Radiance super, where I get the where is it? I can charge the grenades. I forget where it is. Right here, Divine Protection. Convert your grenades into a blessing that heals ally target and drops an overshield. So I really like it for that reason, because you feel like an actual medic. We're pairing this with fusion grenades because I am rocking Starfire Protocol. I think that's what it's called, Starfire Protocol, which gives me double fusion grenades. So we're also rocking Lumina, because when you get kills with Lumina, it drops remnants just like Thorn, but these remnants, when you shoot them, when you fire this gun, it shoots like a healing orb that seeks allies, and I believe it gives them like a damage buff or something like that, but I know that it heals them and it comes in handy. You can store a lot of these noble rounds. You can have up to like 5 or anything, so it comes in handy because you can just turn around, boom, heal your teammate and continue fighting. So I really like this exotic for this build because you feel like the ultimate healer and it's sick. So the rest of my loadout, it doesn't really matter right now. For the Nightfall, I have to run a double primary because, you know, I don't want to be a detriment to my team. So that's the only downside, is that you're not going to have a special weapon unless you just don't care. You know, unless you really just don't care. But I was running Gnawing Hunger with anti-barrier rounds, and then I was running my linear fusion rifle because it's arc, and now I have the rainbow. I have the solar subclass, void secondary, or void energy I should say, and then an arc heavy. So let me just go ahead and break these stats down for you guys. So we got 36 mobility, 31 resilience, but here's the two that matter. We have 72 recovery, which means that my rift is on a 59-second cooldown, but honestly you're going to get it back so much faster, this doesn't even matter. And then I have my grenade, 100 grenade discipline. Sorry, I have 100 discipline, and then my grenade is on a 32-second cooldown. Now remember, I have double fusion grenades because of this. So, and you can even see grenade kills recharge rift, but I don't use it to kill enemies. I use it to heal up my allies. But having 2 fusion grenades is actually insane. It's crazy how much grenades you're gonna have and how much healing potential you're gonna output, because even though it says 59-second cooldown on the rift, it is much faster. We have 21 intellect, and then we have 41 strength, which I would honestly like it if the strength could be a little higher, but with the stats I have in my armor, this is what I was able to get. If you can get it higher, I recommend getting this, you know, as high as possible, because the melee on the Middle Tree Dawnblade, it actually gives you, I think it gives you empowered, which gives you like damage buffs. I believe it also shortens your cooldown, so having a high strength on this, Jesus Christ, I'm getting all confused. Having high strength in this build is going to be really strong. Alright, so let's break down this armor now. So on my helmet, we're rocking a recovery mod just to increase that recovery stat, and then we're rocking supercharge, which allows me to have 2 additional stacks of charge with light, because this is a charge with light build. So having, you know, an additional 2 stacks of charge with light is going to come in handy. On my arms, I'm rocking a discipline mod, and then we're rocking taking charge, because every time I pick up an orb of light, I'm going to become charged with light. So I have a lot of ways to become charged with light in this build. Now every time I pick up an orb of light, it doesn't have to be from a super, it can be from masterwork weapons as well. Now as you guys saw, my Gnawing Hunger and my Line in the Sand are both masterwork. I'm working on the Lumina catalyst. It just takes a while to get, but once I have that masterwork, I'm going to be generating so many orbs of light that this right here, I'm going to be having so many stacks of charge with light. It's insane. Now this right here is what the build kind of revolves around, Starfire Protocol. So it says Fusion Harness is the perk that comes on it. Fusion grenades have an additional charge and recharge from empowered weapon damage. Fusion grenade kills grant rift energy. So I don't use it to kill enemies, I use it only to heal people. I mean, I guess I will if I have to, but I'd much rather use it to heal my allies. And having 2 fusion grenades, it means you can literally just always have the healing orb everywhere, and you can just it's insane. I can't wait for you guys to see the gameplay, because it's actually nuts. I'm also rocking a discipline mod, and then we're rocking counter charge. Become charged with light whenever you or a member of your fire team staggers, disrupts, or pierces a champion's barrier. So this right here also helps me out in the Nightfall, because I don't necessarily have to just rely on getting weapon kills or picking up orbs of light. If there is a champion, boom, my teammate does something about it, I become charged with light, thus allowing me to have more grenades. So on my legs, we're rocking a discipline mod as well. We're running linear fusion rifle scavenger because I am rocking a linear fusion rifle, and then we're rocking this bad boy right here, firepower. While charged with light, regain a portion of your grenade energy when you use your grenade, consuming 1 stack of charge with light. Now I have, like I said, I have multiple ways to become charged with light, and this right here is going to allow me to even have my grenade just that much faster, because I'm going to be regaining a portion of my grenade. Top that with I have 100 discipline, and then all the other ways that the subclass allows you to get ability energy back. This, like I said, you're gonna have your grenade so much it's almost unreal. It feels like you're almost doing something wrong, but you're just gonna be like the ultimate healer, throwing healing grenades, shooting out your hand cannon. It's sick. And on my class mod, we have a discipline mod as well, and then we're rocking double perpetuation mods because it says reduces class ability cooldown when using your class ability. So this is going to be really nice because you're going to be able to drop your wealth so much. Pair this with, again, all the other ways the subclass allows you to get your ability energy. You can already see that I'm going to have my rift an insane amount. We're also rocking shield break charge because every time, every time you break a combatant shield with a matching energy type, you're going to become charged with light. It only costs 1 slot, so I was like, might as well use it. Again, there's other ones that are better, but I had 1 slot left, so I was like, fuck it, might as well throw it on. Just one more way to become charged with light. So before I cut to the gameplay, I just want to talk about the build real quick and what you want to do for different activities. For the Nightfall, until Bungie does something about how the champion system works, you're going to have to run a double primary because you don't want to be a detriment to your team. So any an auto rifle with anti-barriers or a hand cannon with overload or something like that, or unstoppable pulse, is gonna be really handy. But if you don't care about doing that, or if you're not doing a Nightfall, you can rock a sniper with this or a shotgun. I recommend a sniper, just because you're gonna be able to sit back and pick targets off. This build isn't really like an aggressive in your face type of build. You're just supporting your team. Literally, you're gonna be providing healing and damage buff to your team. So I recommend using a sniper for any other activity. And then for your heavy, I guess a grenade launcher or a linear fusion rifle would be good. Or maybe, you wouldn't want to use a machine gun. So definitely stick with a linear fusion or a grenade launcher. So after I recorded that whole intro, I actually did some research into what Lumina actually does. And not only do the normal rounds actually heal the target, it also provides a damage buff, and I believe it's 35%. 35% damage buff for all weapons in your inventory. So that actually comes in really clutch for PvE because, like I said, it's for all weapons. So if you bless somebody with the noble rounds, then swap to like a sniper or a shotgun or linear fusion or something like that, boom, there you go. Like, that is an insane amount of damage buff, because that is, if you have 5 stacks of noble rounds, that can last you a long time because you can kind of time it so that way you always have a noble round active. Not to mention the grenade recharge on this build, as you guys are seeing right now. Look at how many grenades I'm actually using. I'm throwing my grenade, getting another one, and I have 2 just by using this exotic. So I pretty much always have a grenade for every situation. Now, of course, there's some times where there is a little bit of downtime when I don't have it, but for the most part, in every actual engagement, I have one ready. Not to mention the rift ability. I have that available so much. I have like a constant healing zone around me, and I'm able to throw healing grenades and shoot noble rounds at people. The only issue I had with this was not having a special weapon. Now, this was only a Nightfall situation, and again, like I always say, until Bungie does something about this, it's kind of what you have to do in order to run these cool builds. But I didn't have a sniper or a shotgun available to use. I didn't want to be a detriment to my team, so I rocked an auto rifle with anti-barrier rounds. So I was able to help out with some of the champions, but again, chunking them down was kind of difficult because all I had was a hand cannon, and I had an auto rifle and a linear fusion, and I didn't have any heavy ammo scavenger or linear fusion rifle scavenger. So I was kind of left with just letting them do all the damage, which is fine. I was kind of the support build anyway, so I wasn't too worried about it. But I highly recommend trying this build. If you like playing the support style, staying back, supporting your team, healing them and stuff like that, it's a really fun playstyle for that. For me personally, I like being a little bit more aggressive. Although if there is a time where I have to bust this out, I won't mind doing it because it does feel very powerful, healing, dropping these rifts and stuff. So it fulfills that part of it. Now it's just a matter of fact if you actually like being the healer on your squad, or if you like dealing more damage. But you won't be, detrimenting your team or hurting them in any way, because healing in this game can be very powerful, especially in the fact that you can provide damage buffs with Lumina. So I highly recommend it if you like playing it. Again, it's a very fun, very useful in some of the endgame activities. But if you guys like this content, please like, subscribe, and share. It truly helps me out a lot. You can also check out my other videos. Links are in the description below. I have a lot of crazy builds in there and some fun matches, so go ahead and check that out. And you might as well follow my social media. I have a Twitter and an Instagram, both at @fat_bloonskis. But with all that being said, deuces.